Today's challenge is called the double take challenge. It's pretty simple. Every instrument must be recorded live, and you can only have a maximum of 2 takes. So this is something I used to do a lot just for fun. I thought it'd be fun to try it again. I did add some extra rules to make this a little bit more listenable when it's over. So after the whole thing is recorded and you're not going to record any other new things, you can quantize notes and you can fix pitches for like keys that you hit the wrong key, something like that. But you can't do it till the song is done, because the idea is that all of your little mistakes get encoded into the song and they become part of it. And so when you record future parts, you want to make sure that those are part of it and that you have to use it in some way when you record the other parts. So you can fix it at the end to make it listenable, but you can't fix it while it's in progress. I started off with a rule that I could practice as many times as I wanted before I recorded my 2 takes, but that just ended up being the same as having perfect takes. So this one was kind of an adventure. I started off doing a very bad job. I even basically quit and called it a failed challenge at some point because I had practiced all the parts so much. And the thing that I came up with was very boring. It was basically just a 12-bar blues. There's nothing interesting coming out of it. The whole point of this is that you make something weird and crazy that you couldn't have ever made on your own. It's just something spontaneous. And it was the total opposite of spontaneous when I got to that point. I started to get cranky and just started making really annoying noises and playing them on top of the thing that I had. Turned out that that was actually cool. And because I was doing it spontaneously, it was actually in the spirit of the challenge in a way that the original song wasn't. So I just ran with that. I took a nice long break, drank some booze, and came back and finished it up. And I ended up with something really cool. So this is what it ended up sounding like. So you can still hear that it's a 12-bar blues behind the scenes, but it's a lot better than it was. So I'm going to go through what I ended up with. And when that's done, I will edit in some of the footage from the full video for this, of what it looked like before, just so you can see how crappy it was. So this whole thing started with this scream sound here. This is what I put in when I just got cranky, and tried to just make noises on top of the thing that I had. You can see I've been using pigments for most things, but all of these are in polymer actually, because really I was just impatient and cranky, and so I didn't bother using my normal tools. So I'll just turn everything off. I'm using the Swarm oscillator in polymer, which, if you turn up the spread, it can actually sound very grating, which is, what I was going for. And then I have multi-note going in. This is lately how I've been just adding different pitches to a single sound without having to add a lot of notes. I think it works great for this. So you can see it goes up and down 1 octave, it goes up and down 2 octaves. And so it's actually playing this whole thing across 5 octaves, which is why it sounds so huge. And at the end, it's going into Archetype Nolly, which is a guitar amp simulator. And that just really makes it kind of nasty sounding and takes away a lot of the synthiness of it. The next sound, oh man, I was pretty drunk by the time I got here. It's called Whoopa Whoopa, Whoopa Whoppa. I don't know. Yep, this is just wavetable with this what is it? Saw sync wavetable without the weird LFO going on. There's really very little there. But then when you put this really fast LFO on it and modulate the wavetable index, you get this crazy sound. So the next sound I have here is called fa la 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 loop. This is really the only place that the 12-bar blues stuck around. So what I have here in Polymer is just the Union oscillator. I have a triangle wave making a plucky sound, and it's actually got another little pluck of the saw wave there. So you can hear the difference. Alright, coming in I have note repeat, which just gives us this much crazier texture. And then I just blast it with effects. So, stick a flanger on it. Pitch shifter with, what, 22% mix? So it's a little bit of this 7.19 semitones. So it's supposed to be a fifth up. But I just did this by hand, and I wasn't going for perfection here. I was going for gnarly, so 7.9. The mix basically just means that 80% is the original sound and 22% is the pitch shifted sound. Going through archetype nollie again. It's the same amp sim as before, just with a different preset. And then put it back through a phaser. So the phaser makes it move around more, and it gets rid of a little bit of that harshness from the amp sim. All right, and finally we have this nice little sound called "fuck your ears." Mostly because it's high pitched, I guess. I don't know. By the time I added this, yeah, it was pretty drunk and tired. Took a long time to make this. So this is another Polymer. This is the sound by itself. It's another swarm with an even higher spread, so it's a lot more, what do you call it? I don't want to say it's inharmonic, but the tone is very strange. And then I have multi-note coming in again for up and down an octave. Or no, sorry, it's up an octave and up 2 octaves. And then Valhalla, super massive at the end. Just to make it kind of reverby. The whole thing sounds like this. Drums are supposed to be part of the challenge, but I was playing them on a launch pad and one of the pads broke while I was doing this, and at this point I was way too pissed off to spend time dealing with this or setting up other stuff. So I did cheat for the drums. I just programmed them in, but honestly I was just going to do this basic 4 on the floor. So it wasn't much cheating. And then one more thing going on here. This is my little mastering chain. I did smush the ever-living hell out of this with the limiter. So you can see I cranked it up 12 decibels or so going in, just so that it's smushed up at the top. It just made it really loud and nasty. Yeah, and it turned out really cool. It sounds, I don't know, sounds like my brain sounds sometimes, you know, on a bad day or something like that. So I'm really happy with the way it turns out. I'll play a little clip of kind of what it sounded like before I morphed it into this. I'm just gonna record this. bad. Okay, here we go. If you want to see the whole process, there will be a video for that, and a link will be in the description. All the songs that I made during this week of challenges, all 5 of them are on an album called Challenge Beast Volume 1. It's on everything, and there's a link in the description for that too. Stick around if you like stuff like this. I got more of these coming, and I'm trying to make 1 or so of these every month going forward. So yeah, peace out.